Hey, welcome back everybody. Another Soapbox Sunday here at Blue Glow Electronics. Thought I'd start out by doing just a little health update for you. Every day is better than the day before. We're making good progress here. I actually go see the cardiologist again this coming week. It'll be the first time since the heart attack, and but I've been progressing. I've been following their little exercise routine, total change in diet, low sodium, low carb, and low fat. Pretty much, if it tastes like cardboard, you can eat it. I think I've lost a few pounds on this journey already, but we're getting there. And I think the toughest part of the whole journey for me is they have my blood pressure suppressed pretty significantly right now. When I check my blood pressure, it's usually about 75 over 52 or 54 right now, which is pretty low. But that's where they want it right now to keep from stressing my heart until I can get through the whole cardiac rehab program. And along with suppressing your blood pressure comes a total lack of energy or desire or motivation to do a darn thing. So be glad I've made a couple videos. I've had to light a fire under my own tail to get out of the chair and actually do them. So anyway, but we're making progress, feeling good, and I think we'll continue to progress and hopefully get back to our normal selves. And I did just want to say thank you to everybody that's reached out. I've gotten probably hundreds of emails at this point, lots of comments on my post and whatnot. The support you guys have given me has just been absolutely phenomenal. So I want to say thank you. All right, I just want to get a little bit of feedback from you guys. I've been trying a new format here recently. Don't know if I'll use it all the time, but I've kind of liked the way they worked out. So I had this ICO HF85 this guy sent me, and he didn't really want to do a full in-depth mod of this unit. So it was basically just replace the coupling caps, replace the electrolytic capacitors, and kind of wire up the power supply again from a power cord / death capacitor standpoint. And so I made 3 different videos out of that one unit here. And each of the videos I kind of took and broke it down into 2 parts. About 10 minutes worth of classroom, kind of why we should do these things, what's important, how we pick the values, some of those types of things. And then I would spend another 5 or 10 minutes actually over on the bench doing the actual conversion itself. And I seem to have gotten a lot of good feedback. People saying they like this new format, but I thought I'd officially ask you guys, get your thoughts on it. I know the death capacitor video has only been up 4 days, and it's got about 7,000 views at this point in time. So that's a little faster pace than most of my videos pick up. So it must be doing something right, or maybe just the death capacitor topic's a super hot one. So at any rate, give me some thoughts on if you've watched these videos, what you think of the new format. All right, this is a highlight of the year for me here. If you'll notice, we have now hit 15,000, actually 314 subscribers. So quickly on our way to 16,000. The 15,000 kind of snuck up on me. I guess I was down and out for a little bit here with the health conditions, and woke up one day and I looked and I was like, wow, I've got 15,000 subscribers. So just want to say thank you. Seems like the channel's turning into a success, and we're having a lot of fun with it. All right, maybe a little bit of the sad news for the day, coming with these health challenges I've had as of late. I just can't keep up the way I was once doing. I was sleeping 5 hours a night, getting up early in the mornings, making videos, working on projects, driving a lot to and from work, whatnot. I am just having to pick and choose right now what I actually work on. And so I talked about building some chassis for a KT88 amplifier, pre-built for you guys. I don't see it happening in the near future. Maybe down the road a ways, but till I can kind of get my health back on track, get through this cardio rehab program, some of that stuff, I'm just kind of limited in the number of things I can actually take on. So sorry for getting you excited about that, but maybe a year down the road or something, I'll be in a different place. We will see. I stumbled across something on YouTube this week I did not know existed. So I'm familiar with Patreon and what it's all about, And as you guys know, that's just not a path I'm going down. But I was on another guy's channel this week, and I noticed at the top of his channel it had a little button there where you can do a channel membership. And apparently it's one of those things where you pay a couple dollars a month to this person's channel, and in return they give you maybe priority in your comments or questions, things of that nature. Or not. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what it's all about. I'm going to do some research this week. But if any of you guys know what it's all about, and if it's something you would be interested in doing with my channel, let me know. I'm not out fishing for money, but if it's something that people would be interested in, heck, I'm not going to turn down a few dollars to help support the channel. Every penny anyone has ever sent me through PayPal or that I've made off of YouTube videos, I have turned around and put back into this hobby one way, shape, or form. Whether it's buying a new tube tester or bench gear, test gear, or new microphones, whatever. Keep my personal finances separate from my hobby finances, and this is a self-funding hobby here. So let me know what you think on that, or if you've even got any ideas on really what it's all about. Thanks. Okay, I thought this was pretty cool. Out on Audio Karma, under the forums, under Tube Audio, there is a section here called Kegger/Blueglow KT88 project, and it's a thread going now. It looks like up to about 12 pages, where some of the guys that are actually building this thing are out here playing around and getting questions answered from each other and whatnot. So I stumbled across this past week, didn't know about it. I subscribed to it, so now at least I'm getting notifications as people post on this, and if I can, I'll jump in and try to help answer some questions. But if you decide to build the KT88 project, I would go find this forum. This would be a great place for you to kind of bounce ideas off of other people that are actually building the forum, building the amplifier. And to those that kind of started and keeping this forum post active here, hats off to you, and I'll try to contribute as I can. All right, every once in a while I'll get a comment that is just so far out there and so ridiculous that I just bust out laughing. And I got one of those yesterday. On my video I made as to why I don't do Patreon, I got this comment yesterday from Boondock Journeyman. This is what he says. I don't buy it. The real reason you don't do it is because you don't want to serve Patreons. Your field is full of sleazy, under-the-table knowledge and contact hoarders, sort of like guys with 200,000 tubes. You only want to participate to the degree your secret little world remains in your control, sort of like the way you scam Hamfest. Set up a bogus table so you can break the rules and buy up the good stuff by cheating your way in. Sickening. Cheating scumbags that contribute to the ignorance of the masses, just what you want. You're no different than every other audio fool. It's all about your personal hoard, knowledge included. That's exactly what I do. I hoard my knowledge. Ride that fake white horse and be sure to share only what's already out there. At the same time, contribute to hoard your life away. You don't fool people who have been watching your underhanded career for decades. What is it about want to audio fools that fall victim to people like you? Just keep teaching what's already well known and hoard away 200,000 tubes. Defend that to your viewers. I just freaking busted out. I don't know if this is meant to be a joke or what, but if this guy really believes this, he's off his rocker. Oh my gosh. As you guys know, I make a lot of videos. I spend a lot of time doing this. I mean, I probably spend as much time making videos as most people do in their Monday through Friday 8 to 5 jobs. Okay, get that. On top of my normal job, I run a whole other 8 to 5 kind of job, 40 hours a week worth of making videos. And guys, according to this post, I do that so I can just give you what's already out on the internet, but then I hoard all the real knowledge to myself. I don't know where these guys come from. Anyway, I just had to share it. It was that ridiculous and that far out there. And, my response, I made a reply to this. It was just a sarcastic reply. I said, that's about the funniest comment I've ever seen to one of my YouTube videos. Troll on, ... All right, on to the next topic. All right, as you guys probably know, my whole life I've been a collector of just lots of different things. And I kind of roll from one collecting hobby to another. And then, 5 or 6 years, I'll come back around to that other one. Some of it's a little bit of ADD, and some of it is I just have this collector mentality that drives me. But as a result of that, I'm a member of a lot of different Facebook groups for various collector topics, whether it's comic books or cars or records or audio gear or whatever. But people post stuff for sale, right, on these Facebook groups. And 3 times this week, I have seen the following response from different people to different topics, different items for sale. The question is this price negotiable? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why on earth would someone type that? Why would someone take the energy out of their day to ask the question, is this price negotiable? So I was trying to get into the psyche of what is that person thinking? Okay, if it's a $40,000 car, are they thinking, well, wow, maybe this person's, maybe they would take $20,000 for it. So maybe I'll ask if it's negotiable. And if they say, yes, very negotiable, well, then I know maybe I could get it for half the price. Or I don't know. I've just been trying to get into the psyche of why someone would ask that question, because first and foremost, every price on this earth is negotiable. I don't care what it is, as long as it's not in a new retail store. And even that's somewhat negotiable. You can walk in and say, you know what, the store down the street's selling it for a different price here. I want you to lower this price. I recently bought 2 24-inch gaming monitors for my PC here. Walked into Best Buy. They wanted $229 a piece for the monitors. Some Asus, pretty high-end, high-spec monitors, $229 each. I walked in and I said, hey, XYZ has them on sale online for $119. They pulled up their little price search tool, took them a minute or two. The guy came back. He said, you're right. I'm going to sell you these 2 monitors for $119 a piece. So I walked out of there on a buy one, get one free, basically, for 2 Asus monitors. So don't even think that retail stores are not negotiable. But every price is negotiable. I don't know why you would have to ask the question. One of the items I saw this week was a comic book. It was a graded comic book. It was about $2,000 they were asking for it. And graded comic books have very strict pricing. I mean, it's not like you're going to get a $2,000 comic book for $1,200. No one's going to do that because there's a history of what that grade in that comic book sells for, and the market will bear that. You just throw it on eBay and kind of get that, and have to account for the eBay fees. But I don't know. I just saw it funny that someone would even ask the question, is this price negotiable? So I don't know. I'm probably ranting about something stupid here, but I found it kind of funny to see it 3 times in 1 week. All right. Tech tip number 1 for today. I've got 2 tech tips for you, actually. The first one is something I've done for years and years. I keep it over here. It's actually hanging on my wall right here beside of my desk here. As you can see, it is a parts list of stuff, and you can see I've marked off things as I run across them or find them, and I add new things from time to time here at the bottom that I'm needing. I was recapping this HF85 this week. I ran out of the 22 microfarad 630 volt Maori caps, and so what did I write down here? I needed 12 22 UF 630 Maori 150M caps. And the reason I keep a list like this is because I don't necessarily need those tomorrow, because I've got other caps I could use if I had to use some 0.22 microfarads. But I would like to get some of these back in stock. But the main reason is to cut down on shipping cost. Okay. So about once every month or so or 2, I'll place an order from Tubes and More, otherwise known as Antique Electronics Supply, or maybe DigiKey or Mauser. And man, you will get killed ordering one part at a time. If I turned around tomorrow and said, wow, I used up what was in this little bag right here, and I've almost used up what's in here, so I'm going to order a dozen of each of these, from Antique Electronic Supply, well, I would probably pay $20 worth of caps, and then I would pay $12 worth of shipping or $9 worth of shipping, something like that. Whereas if I put items on the list that I can kind of build up over time, then the next time I go to place an order, I'll get 4 or 5 or 10 things off of my list and still pay the same $9 or $10 or $12 in shipping. So bundling will save you on shipping, especially if you don't need it tomorrow type thing. That is tip number 1, maintain a parts list. All right, tip number 2 here. So I made a video yesterday and posted it online about some pretty rare Western Electric speakers that I've got. And the purpose of that video was not really to share with my my viewers. It was more to document the speakers well, because I put them up on eBay for sale. But I was looking for something that would kind of give a technical analysis of the speakers from a kind of spectrum analyzer standpoint. And while I've got all kinds of equipment behind me on the bench here that I could run the spectrum analysis of an amplifier, because I can take the output of the amplifier, put it across a dummy load, measure that, and use some software to do that with, like the analog discovery software and whatnot. I really didn't have anything to measure the actual output of a set of speakers. So I started doing some research, and what I found was there's a lot of kind of pro tools available for an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device. And this is a set of tools here called Sound Tools from Studio 6 Digital that makes these tools. And the way it works is you download the whole suite for free, and then a few of these items you go to use are free, but some of them are not. The one I ended up actually using was called Larsa. You might be able to see it here better this way, but I was actually using it to actually plot the sound response of the speakers. And it does that through the microphone in your device. Well, the challenge is the microphone in a lot of these devices is really designed around your audio and vocals, and it doesn't necessarily cover the whole audio spectrum very well. And what I found was Dayton Audio actually sells this little device called an IMM6. And what it is, when you get it, and open it up, inside is basically a little microphone that, by the way, is full range sound in the audio spectrum. And you can plug it into your device if your device happens to have an old school style plug-in here, phono jack. And then you can plug into it, like whatever you're wanting to this thing will do the tone generation. So I was feeding out of this then into my amplifier, from the amplifier into the speakers. The speakers were producing the sound that was then getting picked up by this microphone and ultimately displaying it on this sound graph here. So it does a really good spectrum analysis based upon this microphone. And when you get this little unit here, you go to the back of it and there's a serial number on it. And you'll go to Dayton Audio's website and you'll key in this serial number, and it actually gives you a calibration file for that microphone. And then you go into the software here and you tell it, hey, I have a calibration file for a microphone, and you import the calibration file into this. So then the software and this microphone are calibrated together. So you're going to get really good professional results out of what you're doing. So this microphone was $19.95. Whoops, I keep hitting things here. This software I'm using was $19.99 one-time purchase. So I've got $40 here wrapped up in what I would consider a pretty pro audio tool. You could use this in any listening room. So walk back to in your listening room to where you want to be sitting at, and you could plot out what you're hearing. You might move your bass traps in the room if you have any. You might move your speakers out from the wall a little bit, and you can actually see from your kind of your sweet spot listening area whether it's maybe I'm getting better bass response now that I've moved my speakers away from the wall, or maybe you're adjusting the potentiometers on your speakers themselves, maybe to adjust the highs up or down or whatnot. But it makes for a really good tool set. I just thought it was pretty cool. I'm 40 bucks into it, and I'm absolutely loving it. So just thought I'd throw that out there as tech tip number 2. And you can get this from Parts Express, the little microphone. It's a Dayton Audio product called the IM-M6, and I'll put a link to that and a link to this software down below in the comments section. All right, that's it for tech tip number 2. All right, we're going to call it a wrap for today on our Soapbox Sunday. I was just going to leave you with one little thing that some of you may not care one bit about and others may find interesting. I watched the new movie on Netflix this week entitled The Dirt. It's kind of a documentary of the band Motley Crue, which was a band I followed a good bit in the early '80s, whatnot. I was in a lot of different kind of music back then, but if any of you guys are Motley Crue fans, you should definitely go watch the movie. It was a pretty amazing movie. It inspired me to dig this up. You guys know I collect records. This is a Motley Crue, their first single ever. This was pre-Elektra Records. It was a Kaufman and Kaufman production on a label that called Leather Records that Motley Crue created themselves. I don't know the exact number of these they produced, but it wasn't many, because you don't. There's one up for sale on eBay right now for about $2,000. If that gives you an indicator. This one I actually got signed by Vince Neil and Tommy Lee. I never did pick up Nicky Sticks and Mick Mars for whatever reason back in the day, but I've had this record over 30 years at this point in time. Got this out on the West Coast some 30 plus years ago. But it was just a great movie, and it reminded me I even had this thing. I went and dug it out today. So anyway, check it out if you get a chance. If you're kind of a heavy metal fan. If not, it's probably not your gig. Well, at least it was a good documentary on what the '80s felt like to me, anyway. So anyway, y'all guys have a great day and a good weekend, and we'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.